This video will serve as a guide for installing EPCULX. Before we get started, there are a few things you should know about EPCULX. EPCULX frames can only be installed on faces made from enclosure-rated material, such as polycarbonate. Acrylic is not an enclosure-rated material, so EPCULX cannot be installed on acrylic sign faces. Also, there are some safety considerations to take note of. Firstly, ensure power has been cut to the sign before attempting the installation and follow proper lockout-tagout procedures. Next, all cable connections to the EPCULX must be made before applying power to the sign. It is crucial to the programming of the sign that all lines be connected properly before powering on. Let's get started. The EPCULX should come to you in this box. You'll notice specifications for the frame contained in the box on the front of the packaging. Take note of this, it will help you install the frames in the correct order. This is what will come in the box with the EPCULX frame. On the right, you'll find the required cables, hardware, and remote inside the cardboard sleeve. On the left, you'll find a bag of documentation. On top of the frame, you'll find a paper drill template for preparing the sign face for EPCULX installation. Now that we have our materials, let's start the installation. If replacement faces are not provided, the face of the sign will need to be prepared. This can be done with the provided paper template. If replacement faces are provided, you may skip the following face preparation steps as they will be done for you. Next, holes must be drilled into the face to mount the EPCULX frame to it. This should be done with a 5/32 drill bit and the provided paper template. This completes face preparation. The threaded standoffs on the EPCULX frame may have become misaligned during shipping. If this has occurred, the standoffs may be realigned with a 1/4-inch nut driver or socket. Now the EPCULX frame can be attached to the sign face using the provided face screws. Before fixing the sign face to the sign, some cable connections must be made. These connections can be made with the provided cables. Ensure that power has been removed from the sign by the indoor breaker box or indoor switch. Take note that the master EPCULX frame must be installed to the face to be in the position of product 1. First, take a black data cable and connect the data port on the master frame's decimal point to the data port on the slave frame's decimal point. It does not matter which data port you use on the decimal point, both will work. Further products can be connected in the same manner, going from one data port to the other. The sign is double-faced. The other face can be connected using this procedure. Connect the Data 2 port on the controller board to the decimal point of the opposite face's product 1. Further products can be connected using the same procedure as the first face, going from one data port to the other. Take note that the master frame should be installed facing the store so the controller gets good reception from the handheld remote. Now power connections must be made. Start by taking a red power cable and plugging the connector into the frame as shown. Provide strain relief to the power cable by zip tying it to the frame using the provided hole. Then use another zip tie to prevent the cable from being pulled through the first as shown. The power cables can then be chained down the face. Place an end cap on each unused connector to prevent electrical shorts. The end of the power cable chain can then be cut and trimmed to fit the electrical box contained inside the sign. If a price pad was purchased, an external antenna must be installed on the sign. Run the provided antenna cable to the exterior of the sign. The recommended location for the antenna is in the black area surrounding the visual opening for the EPCULX on the side of the sign facing the store. Drill a 1/4-inch hole where the antenna is to be placed. Feed the end of the cable through the hole and fix it there using the cable nut threaded onto the end of the cable. The antenna can then be threaded onto the end of the cable. Now the faces may be installed on the sign. When doing so, ensure all cables are secured away from the face to prevent shadowing. Power can now be restored to the sign. This completes the frame installation portion of the EPCULX retrofit. If a price pad was purchased, it should be bound at this time. Power on the price pad and press New. Follow the on-screen prompt and power cycle the sign. Then press Scan. Tap the address of the sign. Press Identify, then the sign should blink slowly. If it doesn't, the wrong address was selected. When you have the correct one pressed, press Bind. The price pad is now bound. Now we can activate the sign. At this point, the sign should display all A's. Enter the user code printed on the remote. The sign should then display user. Press up, then 3 to enter the activation menu. The sign should then display act. Press up, then 1. Starting from the top, the sign should display PRD1, PRD2, PRD3, and so on. Photograph each side of the sign for warranty activation. Once you verify that the products are in the correct order, press OK. Now all of the LEDs should turn on. Verify that all of the LEDs are working, then photograph each side of the sign again. Once this is done, press OK. The sign will now show display codes that need to be entered on the activation website. Using the activation worksheet, record the codes shown on each line of the sign. The first set of codes are for display code A. Press OK for the sign to show the next set of codes for display code B. Remember to record the display codes on both sides of the sign if the sign is double-faced. This information, as well as the photographs taken previously, will be uploaded to the activation website. Log on to the activation website at this time, www.epcuactivate.com. The activation website will give you the activation codes for each line. Enter your user credentials and navigate to your installation site. Click Upload Photos, fill out the form, then upload the photos taken of the sign faces. Continue to enter the sign information on the site page, then enter the display codes from the sign. The website should give you activation codes to be entered into the sign. Return to the activation menu, then press up, then 2 to enter the activation codes. The first line will display 4 underscores. Enter that line's code from the website, press OK, and then it should display pass. If it displays fail, the line was not activated. Press OK to continue to the next line. Once all line codes are entered, activation is complete. The sign installation is almost complete. Now is the time to give the store owner all the documentation and clean up your work area by throwing away packaging and any other trash from the installation. This completes the installation of the EPCULX. We hope that you found this video guide helpful. Thanks for watching.